This is Griffith, New South Wales, and this is one of the main canals that brings fresh water, which is probably the most precious liquid on earth, brings it to our farmland. This is an area where, when explorers first came here, they commented that it was such a desolate place that they didn't think that white men would ever come here again. What they didn't realise that there were many acres of very good soil. In the early 20th century, we had statesmen, politicians who were statesmen, unlike today, and they had sufficient revenue that they could pay all expenses and still devise, legislate and build the iconic Murray Snowy Mountain scheme, which feeds water down the Murrumbidgee River to Berrumbed Weir, where it's diverted into canals like this. These canals then divide into channels, which then go into smaller channels feeding each farm. This is all by gravity and was an absolutely magnificent scheme. This grew from basically nothing in 1915, and for 93 magnificent years grew strongly until it topped out in 2008. This was due to 4 political decisions which we feel have caused us to go into decline, and so it's by fighting politicians that we then hope to try and regain what we once had. This is Griffith High School, where 3 of us were fortunate enough to study economics under Mr. Frank Taylor in 1947-1948. Political ineptitude now has dealt Griffith a double whammy. The first one was when the Murray-Darling Basin Authority was formed, despite great protests from this area, and it's a political betrayal which took away at least 20% of our water to be used down at Lake Alexandrina. Lake Alexandrina was for thousands of years tidal, but it was determined that they wanted to, that they did put up barrages, which are like weirs, to hold out the salt water. The Murray-Darling Basin Plan then increased the depth of the water so that they could sail boats in Lake Alexandrina at the expense of irrigation water. The second of the double whammy was that when there was a chance in April 2014 to be able to bring zero tolerance of impurities and therefore save the Valencia orange industries from being decimated by carbendazim-laced orange concentrate from Brazil, which we claim to be cancerous. Carbendazim is banned for use by Australian citrus farmers. The concentrate has no vitamin C and no antioxidants. This, by the way, is extensions to Griffith High School, but what we're concerned about is that if the political problems that are causing us continue, that Griffith will just fade into something where this will be representing what used to be. Returning the water which is taken away from us by this political betrayal has become my #1 mission. During the New South Wales election, I stood for the electorate of Murray. It was an obscenely short 3 weeks duration. At the Meet the Candidates in Griffith, each one of us was given a very short time as an introduction, and I had to use up all of my time talking about all of the water that was evaporating from here and here. That was the only time when I was at the same place as the incumbent. He dodged us all the way, and there were 3 independents who went all the way from Griffith to Wentworth just to be able to tackle Adrian Pickley, and he didn't show up until the following week when we were not there. What I wanted to do, apart from this, which is number 1 mission, also as Minister for Education, he's already closed schools at Murray and Grongrong, and the word is that if he gets elected, he will be closing every school of less than 300 pupils. This will be the final death knell of many small settlements in the whole of not only New South Wales but in other country regions as well, if they follow on from him. We had a talk in his office about saving the Valencia orange industry, and he gave reasons why National Party would not support it. We wanted to bring this out in the open, but we didn't get the chance. There are many other things as well, and so we want to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen, because I'll be standing for federal in the state of Riverina, in the electorate of Riverina. Now, Michael McCormack has already, some 6 months ago, arranged for his minder to send a message to me saying that there was no more communication between us, so that I'll be pushing as hard as I can on social media against Michael McCormack, and particularly Barnaby Joyce. These are the barrages which were put in, completed in 1940 to prevent salt water coming in after thousands of years of this being tidal. My plan, whereas there are other people who are saying yes, they want to return the water, they want to limit the scope of Murray-Darling Basin Authority, the MDBA, but they're talking about having Senate inquiries first. And in fact, the Griffith Business Group called for each candidate to sign a community contract saying that they would be calling for a Senate inquiry. I can name 5 Senate inquiries that have taken a long time, a lot of money, and achieved nothing. And so my plan is that we don't wait on a Senate inquiry. In fact, I wore a sandwich board to say that we want to be able to open the barrages, let the seawater come in, but only after, at some stage up here, at some point up here, there'll be a weir to be known as Lock Zero. As soon as it's been constructed enough from the bottom to prevent saltwater egress going past the lock, this area is so flat up here that there have been times in the past where huge tides have gone as much as 100 kilometres upstream. But if that lower portion of Lock Zero, wherever it might be, can be done, legislated and constructed within 6 months, then we should have our water back, or at least a portion of the water back, which would mean an additional $105 million per year to farmers.